Hello and welcome to Big Scott 35 Nerdy Thursday, where we're going to talk, just going to be chatting today. I'm not going to be showing anything. Uh, Hopefully I'll have some news next week on some things I'm trying to work out for future Nerdy Thursdays and maybe some other stuff to relate to that, where I might break into another day. So and more, and I'll be chatting a little bit on Saturday about my future of this channel and my goals for next year. So for that. And so right now though, let's talk about The Walking Dead. I think it's been long enough now where people that have been watching it I'm not going to be spoiler alert or nothing like that. And if you haven't, I'll tell you right now, you might get a little spoiler alert because I will be talking about like spinoffs and what I think about it. So it came to an end. The original series came to an end. I was just kind of playing around today and looking up some stuff so I wouldn't be an idiot. And I was like, oh, there's only 3 characters that made it to the end, and now I'm wrong. And I'll tell you why. Because the 3 I was thinking about was shoot. Now I'm going Morgan, Daryl, and Carol. Now Morgan is in the other Fear the Walking Dead, which I love that one. One of my favorite characters is back in that, but we're not talking about that right now. But also, you're going to have the old sheriff is going to be back. Rick Grimes. God, I'm brain dead tonight. And Judith technically was in the first series. She was in the womb. She was born, I guess, at the prison. Was it prison year 1? No, that wasn't season 1, but she was in her mama's womb. So technically, she was in season 1. So we'll count it. I will let it stand. So it was a huge hit, and I've heard this a lot. I was watching it, and then I got bored with it. And I've been reading it, reading the comics. I still haven't finished with moving and everything. This last year and a half, with the pandemic still being a lot, I worked a lot, and so I didn't. And if you watch my channel, I'll tell you that. When I wasn't there, I really got out of reading things that made me happy, and I'm trying to get that back. Trying to get back into that and really enjoy it. So I'm trying to catch up on that and some other comics plus my books. But I'll get into that later. I don't want to get sidetracked, Scott. So those 4 characters have made it through the beautiful. But people don't understand this. It's like, and Daryl even says it. We're the Walking Dead at the end there. That's kind of the theme throughout: is the Walking Dead the actual zombies or the humans? The TV show is more about, I think, human interaction with each other in a crisis. It was brought up in The Talking Dead a lot. It depended, you were always rooting for their group because that was the group being shown. But if it was, you were watching like the governor and his group from the beginning, would you be rooting for them or Negan and his group? It's kind of, it just depends on what side you were watching, who was the bad guy and who was the good people. To me, it was all gray area. During that time, you're just surviving. Rick made up, the rules or the questions, how many zombies you killed, how many humans you killed when he was recruiting people. And, you know, and they were very disciplined, well organized, and did anything for each other to survive. It was from the beginning, Carl as a little boy shooting the disruptive kid in the back of the of the of the truck there, to the other little girl that ended up having to happened to look at the flowers when Carol, um, it's I couldn't imagine. I could. I mean, we all, if you like that show, we all like, how would I survive? What would have been my survival tactics? And I'll tell you real quick what my survival tactics would have been. Because to me, the slow moving zombies that they have in that had trouble walking up hills and waters. I would have loved to find like a hill, like from where I'm from, with a lot of water around it. So you only had to defend a short area. And just like Vietnam forts, you clear out a killing zone so you can see, and you might be able to plant some stuff on the outside and move the fences as time goes on. Uh, but yeah, you always want to look and go, wow, because I was real excited after they got rid of Negan's group, or got rid of some and absorbed the others. Because again, Negan was doing what he thought needed to be done to survive, and he kind of went crazy with that. But as you watched it, he knew there was other ways, and when he was shown affection in many different ways by different people, he kind of learned how to be the human he was before it all started, and losing his girl, and all that stuff. It was supposed to be a psychological as well as horror, to learn to reflect on oneself and how you would handle like any type of, the zombies are just a representation of what could happen, in the future here if our dollar just collapses, or, heaven forbid, a bomb that takes out the electrical, or an attack on our electrical, where we have to help each other. The zombies just took the place of that, so we wouldn't have to think of real things. And also, after a while, the zombies wasn't the problem; it was the other groups, and how do you survive? Who's the biggest bully on the block type of deal. So yeah, that to me was kind of how it was set up. And also, I've heard Kirkman say that before, talked a little bit about that, because he's a true sci-fi fan. And if you watch sci-fi is supposed to be stuff that's taken in modern day and make it, turn it into a sci-fi. So, I mean, that to me is what he did. And it was, to me, a compelling, and I can see where people are falling off because it became more story driven, backlog driven. Wasn't so much fighting the zombies anymore. The seasons were slow, building up to the mid season, the end, and then even at the end, it's set up for next season a lot of times. I don't know how many people, when you heard the whispers, when the people were hiding and got attacked, and heard the people talking, who got excited other than me. Because I was like, oh, that's the whispers, and I knew that was a different kind of group totally than they've run in before. So, and then so Fear the Walking Dead really wasn't a spinoff of The Walking Dead, as more of a ran like coherent, like beside each other. One on the West Coast, one on the East Coast. And what I liked about that is you actually saw, like, from the beginning, how people reacted at the beginning. I really like that. And in that part portrayed more of like, our drug issue in this country kind of was making that at the beginning, like The Walking Dead, it it really had a little two-tone message in that. So I don't know if anybody, how many people picked up. I think a lot of people picked up on that. And then you had the one with the children. What was the name of that one? But that one was a lot of that was filmed in Virginia. Um, I really like that, showing kids how they were handling it on their own, and just bringing in um, like the lady from the junkyard. I bad on remembering names, and the one that took uh, Rick from the bridge when he exploded the bridge, kind of tied in um, what all happened. It really did a really good job of tying everything in. I think they did a better job than the Star Wars tying everything in. Only only time when I didn't like, I read the novels of the governor, and these are not comic books or whatever you want to call them. These were actual novels, hardback novel. Great read, great part of the, but they didn't exactly match the TV show or the comics. There was some things in there they kind of, they used some very lenient things in there, but those are some awesome novels if you want to expand the the Walking Dead universe when the shows are not on. And now we come to the end, and they fixed up another place. They got another town, so I guess they have 3 or 4 towns now being run and kind of governing themselves. They skipped in years, so I guess my guess is now they got 2 more spinoffs where it looks like Morgan and what's her face, Michonne, what's her face, are going to be New York City. I think is the way it looks like. And Carol and Daryl is going to be somewhere, and we're going to have Negan and Maggie somewhere. So we're going to have potentially 3 more shows. And are they going to cross over with what's going on where they left off? Will that some of that fit into that? Who knows? And I'm eager to see it. They must have still a huge following to do that. The money machine just must be printing, I can tell you, because he hasn't really wrote anything on that extended world. And I've been looking maybe for novels or anything, just hoping he would write something to kind of expand a little bit more, because the the Governor series are spectacular, and it gives you a backstory on that town, on the governor. It makes the whole thing kind of strange, and twist. There's some twist in it that is pretty cool that you didn't see in the TV show, but makes sense. So I implore you. I have them. I still have them. Now, for me personally, I collected the figures. I had quite a few of the figures, but I sold them all. I sold all my figures and stuff like that. I kept the books. I kept my. I just had to downsize here. I didn't have anywhere to put them. There were some of the odd figures out. Just didn't want to store them. Kept put a little money in my pocket, and some of the stuff about cards, some of the stuff about video games with it. So it kind of it's just the same way of selling cards, baseball cards. If it doesn't give you that fuzzy feeling, sell it and get something else that you're collecting. Like I said, this Saturday I will be talking a little bit more on my future. It's going to take a while from what my brainstorming. I have a lot of downtime at work, and when that happens, either good things come out or it's so convoluted and hard to do, then it becomes more of a pain than actually what it's worth. Um, but it's going to be another part to this day. Um, so, like I said, I'll get more into that on Saturday. Tell me down below. Did you start out watching The Walking Dead? Did you enjoy The Walking Dead? I know I did. And I'm the type of guy that likes to binge watch, and it took me a while to watch the last one because when I watched the last one, I kind of knew that was the end. And I mean, I really liked some of the characters. One of the characters that died in the last one, I thought I was going to cry. Rosita, uh, how they did that, and just and how strong of a female character she was, a badass like Carol. I just love how they portraying a true strong female character to me is just done correctly is so good. Because sometimes it's just unbelievable, and when you can make it believable, like Carol, the sweet grandma, homemaker, whatever, but you turn your back, she'll run a knife right into the skull, base of your skull. She's awesome. And Rosita was just the badass as well. If you didn't see the one with the survivors and Negan, and they have other strong female characters too. That's what makes their group, because our group, as a group, they're all strong, even the children. So they don't pull no punches, and they all work together. So I know, I usually show stuff. I've been wanting to talk about this since I watched the last one. I don't think I really gave away a lot plot twist. It was just a really loose concept, more of I could understand why people stopped watching it, but I really want to know if people stopped or, did it continue, why you stopped. It's just interesting to me because it was huge. And I know it's not as big as it used to be, but to me, it still is pretty huge. And it's disappointing to me they can't make a video game that's worth a darn, that's not a point and click. That to me is very frustrating. It looks like to me it's built for video games. I play a mobile one that's pretty good. If they could expand on that on the PlayStation or Xbox, that'd be awesome. But until next time, like, share, tell a friend. Welcome to all my new subscribers. Until next time, see ya.